am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name
Cameron.
is
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
We got some good questions today.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting them.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works
for the promoter. Okay.
So you are lifting weights currently?
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish?
Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about these type of
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fans
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
You were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right?
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
I'm real surprised at that, Ken.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's Big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do.
What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas Eve to all you guys tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. You could be anywhere in the world with your family, with your spouses, at a ball game somewhere. Hopefully you're not on the road. Hopefully you're not on the airport. But if you are, thank you guys again for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. And I appreciate you guys for spending this time with your boy Cam, your man Cam. Thank you, and I appreciate it. So we're going to do what we do as normal. Get into some NBA conversations, get into some NFL conversation. We're going to talk about this past week in boxing, Jake Paul getting his jaw busted. We're going to talk about that as well. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. And like you say, what we do, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for making our voice your choice. And we're going to get into it. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in big time. Man, what a fabulous night in the NBA it was last night. Oh, boy. Cooper Flag was doing his thing. We had Kevin Durant going up against LeBron James. We're not going to see much of that much anymore. We had the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. Your boy Jokic, fifth straight triple-double, 61 points. Oh, my goodness, man. The NBA is fantastic. There's no other – if that wasn't the perfect slogan for the NBA back in the 80s, I think that was the 80s, early 90s, it still rings true to this day. The NBA is freaking fantastic, fans, but we're going to get to all that. We got to talk about the NFL. A lot of things in the NFL brewing. We got cats getting suspended in the final games of the season for punching at a fan. We got teams staking their claim as the best team in the NFC or in some ways the NFL. We got the Bears and Caleb Williams is turning around. He's showing enough flashes, man, just to tantalize football fans. Just enough flashes, but he's been getting it done. He's been looking a lot better. Got to give Caleb Williams a thumbs up on the season. Good coaching. It takes you pretty far. And how about those Panthers? We're going to talk about that as well. The Panthers beating up on Tampa Bay, becoming first place in the NFC South. Who had this on their bingo board? Outside of Carolina, who picked the Carolina Panthers to win their division? And I'm not even sure if when they picked it to win their division, that those in Carolina did, that they were completely 100% objective and had a reasoning for doing that. But nonetheless, that's what the Panthers are. So good job on the Panthers. Anyway, I mean, this Lamar Jackson saga, I don't know how much you guys want to get into this, but are we seeing Lamar's final days with the Ravens? I wouldn't trade him if I was the Ravens, but does that mean I told you guys last week that Harbaugh might be on the chopping blocks? John Harbaugh, I mean, this isn't he's been there a long time. He hasn't won with Lamar, who's arguably should have won the MVP last year to make him a 3-time MVP. He has not won with this guy. Is it Lamar? Is it Harbaugh? Somebody's going to have to answer these questions, and that's where we're at right now with these two. We had the 49ers and Brock Purdy go ahead and smack around the Colts. The Colts who, some people, I'm not going to mention any names, but some people were really excited about the Colts. Went out and bought new paraphernalia and all that, thinking the Colts were going to the Super Bowl early in the season. But there's a long season, fans. It's a long season. And here we are, the Colts are flirting with not even making the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills needed James Cook to come around and get 2 touchdowns to get past, escape the Cavaliers, escape the Browns in a win, in a 3-point win, in fact. The Bengals went down to Miami and smacked around the Dolphins as expected. Joe Burrow showed why he's one of the best quarterbacks in football. 300 yards, 4 TDs. I mean, it was against the Dolphins, but he did what he was supposed to do. He beat up on the chumps. The Titans, talking about beating up on the chumps, the Chiefs were down to their 3rd or 4th quarterback, and the Titans took advantage of it, and they went ahead and beat the Kansas City Chiefs in a wild-to-wild win. Again, the Chiefs already down Mahomes. Gardner Minshew went down. So they were really in a lot of trouble, the Chiefs were, as far as the quarterback-wise. So the Titans got a W, 26-9. The Los Angeles Chargers. So I wonder if people are going to give Justin Herbert any credit. Not only is Justin Herbert putting up a lot of stats for, the first quarterback to do this, the first quarterback to do that in his first few years of the league. He's doing now 5 years in the league. He continues to put up these numbers. Merry Christmas, Barry. Thank you for tuning in, big dog. Merry Christmas to you and your family, guy. Appreciate you guys. Not only is Herbert doing what he's been doing, Herbert's doing this injured with both of his tackles out of the game because they've been injured. I wonder now if people are going to give Justin Herbert credit for doing what he's been doing. Or they're just going to say, oh, he's a good talent. He's an awesome talent. He looks good in the uniform. But they're not giving him credit for actually being and achieving for what he's doing. He's dragging this team now. This team wins out. They'll be the number 1 seed in the AFC West, that is. They went out. This will be Justin Herbert's best record as a quarterback. So you got to give Jim Harbaugh credit for coming over there and coaching his team up. You got to give Justin Herbert credit for coming in there, overcoming all of his injuries. Things had a broken finger. I think he had the wrist messed up, a hamstring. I mean, I think he had a toenail pulled out. Justin Herbert's been through a lot. But yet he's there every week quarterbacking the Los Angeles Chargers. And now they got defense on the running game. I mean, this team is a formidable team. So the Chargers beat up on the Cowboys, held the Cowboys, who've been a high-scoring team, held them down to 17 points. So good job by the Chargers. The Vikings outlasted the Giants. The Giants held the Giants at 13 points. It was a low-scoring game, but the Vikings keep their playoff hopes alive barely. The Saints, no playoff implications. The Saints beat the Jets. The Panthers beat the Buccaneers. I told you guys. the Panthers beat the Buccaneers, winning this game, they take control of the NFC South. They're in the opportunity. They have the opportunity to win this game in the NFC South. The Carolina Panthers, and you gotta laugh all you want to, but the Carolina Panthers right now are in a position to win their division. Yes, that Carolina Panthers, led by led by Bryce Young. He has an opportunity to win his division. Some of you guys tried to kick this guy out the league last year after the first couple of years. Some of you guys didn't think he had not only the size, but the ability to perform in the NFL. You guys are really on this dude's head. Reporters, fans, Panther fans, you guys was really on Bryce Young's head. You get him some quality coaching. You get him some receivers around there. You build a little running game for him. And look what happens. Bryce Young is able to quarterback this team to being a potential division winner. I mean, you guys have to applaud that performance. That's the type of performance I not only enjoy, but I mean, that's what sports is all about: overcoming the odds. And everybody who was laughing at the Carolina Panthers at the beginning of the season now see the Carolina Panthers have an opportunity to do something special. Which who can complain about that? You can't. Only a few teams make it to the tournament, and you got to be in the tournament to win it. So you got to give Bryce Young some love for being the quarterback to lead, the first quarterback to lead the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs. Not if he gets it done. He hasn't gotten it done yet. I get that, but should he get it done, you got to give him credit for being the quarterback to do so, or being the quarterback to have him in the conversation when a lot of you guys didn't even think he should be the quarterback of the team, period. So you got to show him love for just being in the conversation, having his team in the conversation. So kudos to Bryce Young. The Falcons beat the Cardinals, 2 teams out of the playoff picture again. The Jaguars beat the Broncos. That was surprising. Trevor Lawrence took his turnover-free football down to Denver and just played efficient football. Was this a statement? Was this an aberration? The Broncos were due. They won over double-digit games in a row. They were due for a loss, so it wasn't a terrible loss. But was that a statement game for the Jaguars? Can you foresee them having that type of performance in the playoffs? I think this was the Trevor Lawrence fifth game in a row with no turnover or no interception. So good job. The Texans squeaked by the Raiders. Raiders, made a feverish comeback, but the Texans held on with their defense. They're going to be very formidable and solid. The Steelers and the Lions. In this game, I mean, the story of this game is outside of the Steelers winning this game and kind of jumped out to a lead and forced the Lions to play catch-up football. And if you force Jared Goff to do anything and put a little pressure on him, he's probably not going to be at his best in that situation. And that's what the Steelers forced him to do. And they were able to come out in the win. But I think the story of this game is them losing DK Metcalf for the rest of the season. DK Metcalf, whatever the fan said to him, whether the fan was trolling him, going city to city and trying to get him, get under his skin, for whatever the situation was, DK, you can't go over there and take a swipe at the fan. Grab his shirt, contact him, take a swipe. The fan, for whatever reason, admitted he didn't get hit. Well, I might have fell out. He threw his hands up in celebration. I might have fell out after DK tried to take his head off. I mean, he couldn't do it. He was already 9 feet away, so there wasn't much power he had with it. He had in his punch. But I might have fell out right there in the stands, and because everybody saw that. But DK, you can't do that, bro. Now you got them wondering if they're going to void the $45 million portion of your contract. I mean, the Steelers, I don't think the Steelers would do that because they already extended him. So now if you kind of void, so the situation happened, right? And you don't support your player, that's not going to be, a good situation in the locker room, right? That's why you support your players. Irregardless if you believe in the player was right or wrong, you got to support your player, because if you don't support your players, then it's looked upon as the guys in the locker room who you're asking to go run their head against the wall every week but I'm not going to support you when shit goes down. So you got to support your player, as Mike Tomlin did. But then he has a $45 million. He has the portion of the contract that has the potential to be voided. If they were to void that portion of his contract, even though he signed it, even though he has a clause in there where they could do it legally, and he had no recourse, it doesn't send a sound message to your players, the rest of your players on your team, that if you do something wrong, regardless if we have the clause in there or not, if you do something wrong, we can execute this clause and we can take some of our money back. Yes, they are perfectly within their right to do so. Absolutely. I get it 100%. However, do you want that message in your team that you guys aren't supporting your players? You guys aren't backing your players? Yes, he has to be smarter. DK has to be a smarter football player than that. Yes, absolutely. 100%. It's uncalled for. He should have been suspended. I'm surprised they suspended it for 2 games. He appealed, and they upheld the appeal that he doesn't. So it's just not 1 game. I'm surprised for the time in the situation. If this was week 10 and they suspended him for 2 games, I completely understand it. It's week 17 that we're going in. You suspend him for the last 2 games of the season. It's DK's fault. I'm not absolving DK at all. It's DK's fault. It was stupid. A stupid move. He should have been suspended. He should be fined. I totally agree. Taking over the $45 million and executing the clause in the contract that you have with them, I mean, he's not going to be a happy player for the next 2 years. Though he has an opportunity to earn that back, he's not going to be. He's going to be like, you guys didn't back me, number one. You guys didn't support me, and then also you taking money out of my pocket. Sure, he should be fined. Should he lose a bonus on his contract? Come on, guys. I don't think so. But that's the situation that DK Metcalf has put the Steelers in. Once again, Tomlin, it doesn't look like he's going to have a losing season. But are they going to make any noise in the playoff? We shall see, and I have my conversation on that later. The Patriots beat the Ravens, who now all of a sudden there's issues with the Ravens front office and Lamar Jackson, because an article just got proved that said Lamar Jackson playing too many video games and he's sleeping in team meetings, yada, yada, yada. Now, a reporter's not going to be able to get that information unless somebody's telling them that, whether it's a team, whether it's a teammate, or whatever the case may be. But that situation could possibly explain the Ravens' failure for taking advantage of their opportunities over the last few years that they've had over and over and over in front of them. Nonetheless, they got beat by a better team. The potentially the coach of the year. I don't think Drake May's an MVP candidate, but he'll be in the conversation. The Eagles beat the Commanders. Jalen Hurts once again does this thing and just steady, leading the Eagles like a steady, well-oiled machine. That's what Jalen Hurts does. leads them to their second straight NFC title. Nobody has won 2 in the NFC for a while. I don't believe so. Kudos to Jalen Hurts for getting that done. In spectacular fashion, Caleb Williams leads. He hits DJ Moore on a touchdown pass overtime. I think it was the longest air yard touchdown pass in NFL history. But with Green Bay for the walk-off touchdown in overtime. Wonderful game. I think it was Saturday night it was. So good. Caleb Williams. Again, Caleb Williams is showing you glimpses of who he could be, what he could be down the future. Can he put all this together and stay consistent through quarter 1 through quarter 4? I mean, he's easily has the most potential any Bears quarterback has ever had. He's easily going to be able to put up some stats that no other Bears quarterback has done in the past. But how is his potential? Like, will he lead the Chicago Bears to NFL Super Bowl? Are we thinking 3-4 years down the line? Like, how long do you guys see that? Because he showed glimpses of greatness, but he doesn't do it every down, every quarter, every snap. He doesn't do it consistently, but he does show moments of greatness. And it's going to be interesting to see and enjoy how far that he can carry the Chicago Bears. The Seahawks and the Rams. Okay. The Seahawks were down at one point, 14 to 30 in this game. So to fight their way back in the game was pretty impressive. Forced overtime, and they had the 2-point conversion, the kind of funky cattywampus 2-point conversion. It looked like a backwards pass. Charbonnet wisely just picks up the play. Just puts his hands on the ball. He gets the ball, and the ball was a live ball, so it's a 2-point conversion. Good, wise move by him. Just go pick up the ball. If the ball's out there, you got to pick it up just in case. And you see that happen. You see that happen throughout several plays during the NFL game, whether the pass is incomplete. Oftentimes you see it on an incomplete pass or a catch that is in question that hits the ground, is on the ground. Somebody just go pick up the ball, which is a smart thing to do. He did it, and that was Charbonnet credit for him for just being smart to pick up the ball. Then the Rams go down and score a touchdown in overtime. Okay, good job by the Rams. You put the Seahawks gave them the ball first. That put a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold and that offense. Sam Darnold and that offense was ready. Sam Darnold and that offense. That offense has been showing, it's been a mirage this year. They want to, I think they like to run the ball like they have Derrick Henry. They know they don't have Derrick Henry. But between Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, they like to. Mike McDonald would like the NFL to believe he's a running team. However, Sam Darnold's most effective when they play action, and you can only play action if you're an effective running team. Sam Darnold's play action game is that's the best part of his game. And then he's able to hit JSN, or he's able to hit Cooper Kupp, or he's able to hit one of his tight ends. And that's how they're using Sam Darnold so effectively. So Sam Darnold in that drive in overtime to score a touchdown, because they were in overtime, as you know, Seattle elected both teams get a chance to possess the ball. Seattle won the toss, and they elected to kick off to the Rams. The Rams went down and scored, forcing Seattle to score. Now Seattle wanted to win the game, and in this position that A tie wouldn't have done them any good. I think they scored with 3 minutes on the clock. A tie wouldn't have done them any good. So for them, their opportunity to win the game outright, they go for two, and they convert the 2-point conversion, which on another great play, great job by Sam Darnold. Now and then win the game. They take in that snap. They take advantage of. They beat who was the best team on my supremacy rankings last week, arguably the best team in the NFL. They beat them on their home field. Now, last time they played, is the Sam Darnold until people were still questioning Sam Darnold all the way up until that final drive of overtime, because he's had 6 interceptions in 2 games versus the Rams. And in that first game versus the Rams, if he doesn't throw 4 interceptions, they're likely that might be worth. If they get a field goal on one of those interceptions, they win the game, because they lost the game on a missed field goal. So Sam Darnold, he showed some promise by winning that game. You have Mike McDonald. He's a great defensive coach, number one, to start with. Look at the defense, what he's doing with the Seattle Seahawks, and then you look at the Baltimore Ravens without him. Great. He's having an impact on both squads, all right, on both coasts. So great defensive coach. And they allowed Jackson Smith-Njigba to prove that he's a top 3 receiver in the NFL. And Sam Darnold been whipping it to him most of the season. Now they just need a running game. So Charbonnet is never – I've never thought Charbonnet could be a full-time bell cow back, ever. He does run through the holes, so he's a great come-off-the-bench back. He hits the holes as you want. He does pick up some valuable yardage. Kenneth Walker is – you hope that he could be a bell cow back. He hasn't shown that he could. He's 3 or 4 years into his – he hasn't shown that he could. They need a running game. They get a run game to go with this defense and go with these receivers. The Seattle Seahawks will be the favorite to win the title next year. Just to kind of quickly talk about it, the MVP race, I got Matthew Stafford. He leads the league in passing touchdowns, so he's going to win it over Josh Allen and Drake May. The Rams are going to be right there, even though they lost. I mean, they still 4 games all season. They're going to win it. Offensive Player of the Year, it could be Stafford. It could be Josh Allen. I think it'll go Stafford. Defensive Player of the Year, I think it's going to be Myles Garrett. He's at 20 sacks and close to bringing a single-game record, although he's going to use a couple extra games to get it done. Myles Garrett has to be the Defensive Player of the Year. Coach of the Year, this is a tough one, because you just heard me praise Mike McDonald for the Seattle Seahawks. The coach of the Cohen for the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's getting the best out of Trevor Lawrence now. Their defense has always been solid, but with the better play out of Trevor Lawrence, you highlight what the defense is able to do and getting the running game the ball and his offensive receivers the ball. He's doing a really good job in Jacksonville. However, Mike Vrabel in New England is just almost a perfect fit. He changes them from winning 4 games last year to losing only 4 games this year. Like, that's a big, significant difference. I think Mike Vrabel is easily the coach of the year in the NFL for this season in my books. Easily. If you got some different electorals for the NFL coach of the year and the offensive player of the year, let me know. I just told you what I think. These are my thoughts, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. But if you got something, let me know what you think as well. So it's okay to have a difference of opinion, but that's my thoughts. And right now I'm gonna show you like my thoughts from this past week. Here are the picks I made for this past week. There you can see them there. I had the Bengals over the Dolphins. I had the Rams over the Seahawks, but Seahawks surprised me as they did most everybody else with their win. the Eagles over the Commanders. I had Green Bay beating the Bears, but as I mentioned earlier, Caleb Williams got it done late in that game. The Bills over the Browns. We talked about Brooks getting it done. The Chargers over the Cowboys. The Chiefs over I had the Chiefs, even though they were on the second quarterback. I thought Minshew, before he got hurt, could lead them to a win over the Titans, but the Titans came out and pulled one out. The Saints over I had the Saints over the Jets. Minnesota over the Giants. I had Tampa Bay over the Panthers. That was listed as one of my games of the week. I told you guys the Panthers came back and upset them. I'm still surprised about that. I had Denver over Jaguars. Jaguars, that was a great game by the Jaguars. Came up and won that game. Atlanta over the Cardinals. Detroit lost to the Steelers. I think Detroit is something right. Detroit. And maybe the amount of games they played in the last couple of years is catching up to them along with the injuries. The Raiders and the Texans. I had the Texans. New England and Ravens. I had New England in that game, as you see, and the 49ers and the Colts. I had the 49ers in that game. So I was 56% because I missed on the Lions, the Broncos, Buccaneers, the Chiefs, the Packers, and the Rams. Dropped my winning percentage to 63% on the year. Oof. I was trying to get that to 70%, but oof, 60 on the year is not that good, fans. Here you guys go. Here's going into this week. Here's my supremacy rankings, as you see right there. I'll just read off and the whole NFL. I got the Seahawks. They beat the Rams. They took, to beat a champ, you got to beat the champ. They took the throne from the champ when they played them last week. So they beat them for the number one spot in the NFL, NFC, and in the NFL. The Patriots. I got the Patriots behind the Rams, the 49ers, and the Broncos. Now, the Patriots play really good. Their schedule has been kind of soft, but I think you rack up these amount of wins, you kind of you learn how to win during this easy schedule, if you will. You learn how to win, and so now they know how to win. So when it comes to what do you do in crunch time, they've done it before. Here's my picks for this week here. I have hold on. Is this the wrong week? No, I got the Seahawks. So I got the Seahawks. Excuse me. I got the Buccaneers beating the Dolphins. I got the Cowboys beating the Commanders. Lions over the Vikings. Green Bay over the Bears. I think that's the game of the week. Is the Bears over the Packers, or Bears and Packers. I got Green Bay pulling that game out. I think Love has to show his worth, and he's been on a little streak here lately. Another game of the week, I got the Bills and the Eagles. I think both of these teams, though they're in the playoffs, I think they have to prove that they want to go in the playoff rolling. And likewise with the Bears playing the Niners. See, something, my fault, squad, my fault, team. I don't know how the Bears Packers, but then also the Bears Niners. Let me see if I can change that real quick. Let me pull this. I didn't think that looked right. I didn't think that was my fault, squad. So week 17 is the Ravens Packers. And the Niners, Ravens, Packers, and Niners, Bears. That's my mistake. But I'll make that correction and show you guys the rest of that list later. But that's my mistake there. But yeah, for the NFL, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic showing because the Eagles and the Bears play. The Bears and the Niners, as I mentioned, are going to be a game of the week that I have. The Rams play the Falcons. The Rams easy in that game. The Giants play the Raiders. I'll take the Giants in that game. Seahawks play the Panthers. Seahawks better win that game, though they travel across the country. The Patriots and the Jets. The Patriots going to smash those guys. The Jaguars and the Colts, I thought would be a good game. The Steelers and the Browns, that will be a good football game. Like I wouldn't mind. I would watch it if it was the only thing on TV. But there's much better games on this TV just because that's the interdivision rival. The Cardinals and the Bengals. The Bengals are going to smash them. I'm trying to see where it came. Cardinals and the Bengals. Ravens, Packers, Texans, Chiefs. The Texans play the Chargers. Broncos and Chiefs. That was supposed to be a good game. The Lions play the Vikings. Commanders play the Cowboys. And the Dolphins do play the Bengals. So I just got the supposed to be the that's the one game that was kind of messed up. That Bears-Packers game was messed up. It's supposed to be the Ravens-Packers. So I got to correct that. But nonetheless, that won't be the game of the week. The Ravens-Packers. That will not be the game of the week. But I'll get that corrected. Who did you guys have for MVP of the NFL? What did you have? Drake May, Matt Stafford, Josh Allen? Who you guys have for the MVP? Before I move on to the NFL, I'd like to ask you guys another question because it is Christmas Eve. What's your best Christmas memory? I'm not going to ask you your best Christmas gift, but your best Christmas memory involving sports, revolving the world around sports. Christmas, I remember years ago, 10 or 11, I got a 12 sweatshirt. Growing up in here in Seattle, it was a sweatshirt. The number 12 represents the Hawks, et cetera, et cetera. But that summer, they had a fan appreciation day, and I was able to get that sweatshirt signed by a bunch of Seahawks. So that obviously improved the value of that sweatshirt, which made it real cool. But involving sports, my best gift, I'll tell you my best gift real quick, I thought was the coolest gift, was a Green Machine. If those of you know who had the Green Machine, the one that had it was a big wheel, but it had the throttles right here, go left or go right, and then you could do the power slide. But that was way back in the day. I don't know if you guys know what the Green Machine is, half of you guys. But hit me up in the chat. Or at _ voice of the fans, at _ voice of the fans on Twitter. What's your best Christmas memory involving sports, surrounding sports? Did you go to an event on Christmas Day? NBA has they've always long done basketball on Christmas Day. NFL has now football on Christmas Day. Did you go to a game on Christmas Day? What's your best memory involving sports? I don't know if this is my best memory. This is my most memorable memory. Is the 2011. What year did Braun go to Miami? That was 2011, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because they ended up losing the finals in that first year to Dallas Mavericks. Well, that season, LeBron played Kobe. Miami played the Lakers in Los Angeles on Christmas Day. I bought tickets to this game. This is before I became a media member. And we were late to this game. So what they do in Staples Center is, I'm not sure if they do it only in Staples Center or around the NBA. But while the play is going on, they don't let you go down to your seat until you have to wait until there's stoppage in play to let you go to the seat. I'm not sure if that happens around the league or not. But we were standing there waiting to go down our seats. They were in the lower bowl of the Staples Center. And I had the view of the game from that moment. And I'm waiting for a dead ball so we can go down and take our seats. But to watch LeBron James and Dwayne Wade cover the court, they were like velociraptors out there on the court together. LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, like they were in every lane. I mean, I don't even know the stats, how many steals they created that night. But just in the time that I was standing there waiting to take my seat, they stole the ball 3 times. They had 3 dunks, highlight dunks. And like this, watching those two was, I didn't see MJ and Pippen. I didn't see them live. I don't remember MJ being a better defender Let me take this back. Let me backtrack. I don't remember that tandem being that ferocious. Pippen was excellent. Jordan was good. I don't remember that talent being that ferocious, but I didn't see it live. Watching that live, it was different. It was really different. They were in every passing lane. It was like Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers they were having trouble bringing the ball up past half court. In that Christmas game, in that first quarter of the Christmas Day game, playing the Miami Heat of that 2000, I swear it was 2011, when that first year LeBron won the championship. And that was amazing. So that's more of a memory. That wasn't my favorite moment. That was a Christmas Day game. I remember it just because I was standing there, couldn't wait to get to my seat. And we're being held up, but I had an uninhibited view of the court, and I could see like LeBron and Wade just were the two most athletic players on that court by far. And it was wild. So if you got a good moment you want to share with the group, man, chime in. Hit me up in the chat at _voiceofthefans on Twitter. Hit me up in the chat. I'll show it live. Talking about the NBA, man, Cooper Flag. Oof. Did you guys see Cooper Flag put up 42 last night? In a lot of different ways. He wasn't catching. It wasn't all lobs. It wasn't all threes. He's taking cats off the dribble. He's backing cats down. He took Jokic off the dribble and got a yam. Cooper Flag last night, he looked like he's every bit worth of that number one pick. Last night, Cooper Flag looked tremendous. Ivica Zubac out for several weeks. Obviously, major blow to the Clippers front court. However, the Clippers have beat Houston last night. They beat Houston. I mean, dare I say Zubac is slowing them down? They had a big win. Jokic, man, what can you say about this dude? 5th straight triple-double, 60-point triple-double last night. Anthony Edwards said he might be the best player besides me I've ever seen in my life. That was a good one. Man, the Spurs defeat the Thunder again, win their 7th straight. Longest winning streak since 2018-19? Are you guys ready to say that we have underestimated Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Harper? We have underestimated what this kid brings with this combination of talent? Or I say me, have I underestimated what these San Antonio Spurs are doing? Because they're looking damn good. Think we'll get a chance to see them tomorrow. Well, I check this up and confirm the schedule for tomorrow. Most of you guys are already aware of it. Do you trust Houston Rockets in the playoffs? Do you trust, or should I say, do you trust Reed Shepherd and Jabari Smith in the playoffs? Because that's what it's going to come down to. Amen Thompson is going to defend his butt off. Tari Eason is going to defend his butt off. KD is going to get his 25 to 30 points a game. But is Reed Shepherd going to give you 20 to 25 points a game, 10 assists? Is Jabari going to give you 15 and 10, 15 and 12? That's what we're aiming to see with these San Antonio Spurs. So tomorrow in the NBA, tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. early if you're on the West Coast like me, you got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. Probably still be eating breakfast. At 11:30 a.m., we got the Spurs and the Thunder. Ooh. The 22-7 Spurs versus 26-4 Spurs, 26-4 Thunder, 11:30 a.m. That's must see TV, regardless of who playing in the NFL. At 2 p.m., we got the Mavericks and the Warriors. Yeah. 5 p.m., we got the Rockets and the Lakers. What makes this interesting is because obviously LeBron, there's some talk that this is LeBron's last season. Get to see LeBron and KD go at it once again. And I don't care to see the Lakers play. The Lakers are going to get ran through. But LeBron, I guess it makes it worth it. And then the nightcap at 7:30 p.m., we got the Timberwolves again playing the Nuggets. Now, these teams just met. They just met 2 nights ago. They just not too long ago. These teams just met not too long ago. But the Timberwolves play the Nuggets tomorrow night, which should be a good game. Which should be a really good game with playoff implications. Well, it's too early for playoff implications, but we know what type of game they do play. We know what type of both teams will be there. We know both teams will be there. We know both teams will be in the final round of the playoffs. So that's why I say playoff implications, because we know both teams will be in the playoffs in the mix. Yeah, so we got big games tomorrow. Now let me see how those games in NFL or these games in the NBA, how they match up with the NFL games. What would you rather see? Would you rather see the NFL on Christmas Day? Because tomorrow, at 10 a.m., we got the Vikings and the Commanders. 10 a.m., we got the Cowboys and the Commanders. Cowboys and Indians, what we used to call them. We got the Cowboys and Commanders at 10 a.m. Would you rather watch the Cowboys and Commanders at 10 a.m. or Cavaliers and Knicks at 9 a.m.? I think more people are going to watch the Cowboys play. We got the 1:30, the Lions and the Vikings. 8-7 Lions versus 7-8 Vikings. 1:30 p.m. In the NBA tomorrow, at 2 o'clock, we got the Mavericks Warriors. So I'll probably still be watching the Spurs Thunder at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, I'll probably still be watching that game before I tune into this Vikings Lions game. And then nightcap, we got the Chiefs Broncos, which would be a good game. However, Mahomes ain't playing, So at 5:15, so this makes this a mute game. And tomorrow night, I told you, we have a couple games worth watching tomorrow night. At 5 o'clock, the Rockets and the Lakers play. You want to see KD versus LeBron. And at 7:30, you got Timberwolves versus Nuggets. You got Ant-Man versus Nikola Jokic, who's on a tear right now. So the NBA might win the scenario tomorrow. NBA might win Christmas tomorrow. Not only do they have 5 games, they got good games playing. But do you trust the Houston Rockets? As I mentioned, I think that comes down to trusting Reed Shepherd, or trusting Jabari Smith. Which one do you trust? Let me know. Hit me up in the chat. Do the Spurs have the Thunder's number? We'll see tomorrow night. We'll see what that looks like. They play again tomorrow night. We'll see what that looks like. And we'll see how San Antonio's, because they just beat OKC on Tuesday night, 130 to 120, 130 to 110. The Spurs did. They beat OKC 10 days ago on Saturday the 13th by 2 points. And now they play them again on Christmas Day. OKC is going to be angry tomorrow. OKC is not going to be happy about being over in these last 2 games against these guys, against these young Spurs. So OKC, which is young, talented, aggressive, smart players. San Antonio Spurs have all that as well. Plus, they got Wemby. So where OKC has Shea, San Antonio has Wemby, plus Fox, Harper, Vassell. There's a lot of talent. The Spurs might be more talented 3 to 7, 2 to 7, 2 to 6, 2 to 5 than OKC is. That's crazy to say because everybody knows how incredibly deep and talented OKC is, but the Spurs is right behind them. They're not that far. The Spurs just haven't won the championship, and Shea is a few years more advanced than young Wemby is. But I don't think the squads are that far apart, and we get a good one tomorrow night. That's must-see TV, fans. They've already shown it to you. They beat them by 22 nights ago. OKC going to have something to say about that. They're going to want to prove who they are. Are you guys with the Knicks? Are you guys trusting in the Knicks right now? The New York Knicks are 29. Best record in the they're a couple games behind the Detroit Pistons, who have the best record in the Eastern Conference. The Boston Celtics are still right there. The Toronto Raptors are as well. Philadelphia Sixers, look at them, 16-12. Orlando Magic, we need to do better, 17-13. I expect more out of you. I expect more out of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And they're down here 17-14. But do you expect New York to win this division? Or do you expect Detroit Pistons to hold on to their top spot in the division? They're 8-2 in the last 10 games. Having 12, they dominated at home, 12-2 record, 11-4 away. Best away record in the Eastern Conference. Best away record in the Eastern Conference. OKC is 12-3 on the road. So they have a better record. Detroit only behind OKC in that category. But do you believe in these Detroit Pistons? We'll have to keep a better eye on these Detroit Pistons. So they're leading the Western Conference. Do we believe in the Toronto Raptors? They're not supposed to be there, are they? Philadelphia 76ers showing some life. Orlando, I need you guys to pick it up. You made the big move in the offseason. Paulo's been back. One of the Wagners is out. But I expect more from you guys. You guys should be at number 14. 10-4 the 5-5 of the last 10 games. Like, that's not championship basketball, fellas. I expect more out of these Orlando Magic. The Spurs, 9-1 the last 10 games. They dominated at home 11-2. Spurs is getting it done. Right now, they're number 2 in the West. Denver's ahead of them. Denver doing better than I thought. I'm expecting Houston at 17-10. They need to pull up. It's still early, but 17-10, Houston's at 6th seed. Talking about pulling up, the Clippers at 8-21 need to do some pulling up. The fans in the chat, what's your biggest Christmas memory involving sports? Was it a bowl game? Football on Sunday? What was your biggest memory? Fans, let's jump right into it. This past weekend, it was hyped up everywhere. You couldn't miss it if you wanted to. The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. Did you see it? If you didn't see it, did you hear about it? Of course you heard about it. What were your thoughts on the results? I mean, if you watched it, you saw Jake Paul come in there running around. I mean, he had his track shoes on the first 2.5 rounds. Then he ran out of steam. Then he can't. I don't know what the move was to grab at Anthony Joshua's thighs and ankles. Not sure what. I haven't seen that move used in boxing. So was he trying to change the game? Was he trying to introduce another movement to the sport? I'm not sure what he was trying to do. But he caught Joshua in the third round. He caught him with a good punch. Overhood, closed his eyes, put his head down, and just heaved the punch out there. And it caught Joshua. Didn't move Joshua, but it caught him. You can see the sweat, and at least the TV I was watching, with the sweat go knocked off his face. He caught him. But once Joshua did the basic, it was so basic what Joshua did to him. He let him run for a couple rounds. Where I don't know if it was strategy to let himself wear him out, or didn't want to chase him and put himself in harm's way. But he let him run, and he just kind of followed him, let him run for a couple rounds. Then he tried to catch him in the corner, try to wail on him, and then Jake Paul, I don't know the move where you dive at your opponent's feet in boxing. And it's not even you're trying to hug and fall. It's I don't know what the move was. He wasn't hugging him to preserve energy. He was going for his shorts like he was trying to pants the dude or something. But he did that a few times. But then in the combination knockout punch, Anthony Joshua threw a right hand. Okay. Then he threw a kind of a modest, and I say modest from 2,700 feet away, but he threw kind of the kind of punch you throw at your brother's midsection to get him to bring his elbows down. And when he brought his elbows down, he threw that right punch and connected with his jaw, broke his jaw, and sent him wailing in the corner. Now, credit to Paul. Paul didn't lay there. Like, he knew this was going to happen, or he knew this had a chance of happening, and he's going to take it and he's going to exploit it. So he shook his mouth. I got a busted tooth now. He's making a mockery out of the busted tooth that he got. that he deserved. And then the refs just, the refs counted out a few different times, and he had no more energy to go. So kudos to Joshua. It took the 6th round to get it done. He should have done it in 4 rounds, but Joshua was coming back from a knockout that he experienced years ago, or in his last fight that he didn't want to have. He was trying to shake off that rust. That not only the rust of not fighting 15 months, but the memory of him getting knocked out. So he didn't want to get caught. He was being cautious. But fighting a fighter like Joshua or like Jake Paul, he didn't have to worry about being overly cautious because he knew he can win that fight. So what were you guys thoughts of that fight? Did you enjoy it? Is this thing over? Is this thing with the Jake Paul over? Do you guys want to see him fight somebody else? I got an idea for Jake Paul. See if you can make this happen. Since you're throwing money around, this guy likes money. He wants to be seen. What do you think about Jake Paul fighting Conor McGregor? I would be very much interested in that fight. Does Conor McGregor still have it? Because Conor McGregor would really try to knock him out. Regardless of some type of payment agreement that they had, I think Conor McGregor will really try to knock him out. He might see some of this as embarrassing the sport. So, what do you guys think about a Conor McGregor Jake Paul fight? Definitely going to go worldwide. He's definitely going to go worldwide. Can Conor let it be boxing? So Conor, Jake Paul can continue to use his expertise in the sport in the next fight. Let it be boxing. Don't try to make him MMA fight, because MMA, once he went to the ground, Jake Paul don't have a shot. But in boxing, he has a puncher's chance. What do you guys think about that fight? Let me know in the chat. @_voice of the fans. I think that would be a good fight for them both. Memorable moments I got in the chat. Will 59 and 31, 1961 Christmas Day game. 59 and 36, 1961. NFL played his first Christmas Day game in 1971, a long time ago. But Wilt went bananas on Christmas Day. That's absolutely crazy. Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast all year, all week. I really appreciate it. The fans do as well. If you're so inclined, hit that subscribe button, fans. Hit that like button. And if you're really into what you hear, if you're really into the podcast, hit that share button. Share it with a sports fan for Christmas. Share it with your favorite uncle. Share it with your cousin who they like sports. Share it with them, because I'm inclusive. I want to hear everybody's standpoint. Fans, I don't know if I used this one before. I don't have it marked off, so I don't think I have. But the quote I want to use tonight, Christmas Eve. First of all, I wish you guys the best. On a personal note, fans, make sure you're spending some time with your family. The moments you have with your family are fleeting. We all don't know when we're going to go. We don't know when our last days are. But the moments that you have breath in your lungs, let your family members know what they mean and how they care or what, how you care about them, how you feel about them, and what they mean to you. That's very important because there's going to be a time, and I don't mean to be on a soapbox, but it's just what's going on in my current life. There's going to be a moment where you're not able to communicate. And though we have these text messages on our phone, though we have the AI machine, there's going to be a point in our lives where none of this extra technology allows us to speak to each other because of the motor skills and the diminished capacity of the motor skills. So while you can speak to your family, while you can talk to them, while they can pick up the phone or respond to an email or respond to a text, be sure to let them know what you feel about them and how important or influential they mean to you. If there's a message you want to share with somebody, share it with somebody. And the quote I'm going to leave to you guys with outside of the little speech I just gave you guys, and I appreciate you guys for listening. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there's something inside of you that is greater than any obstacle. Christian D. Larson. I feel like I shared that with you guys before, but I feel this is so pertinent, not only to my personal life, but it might inspire you and one of your family members. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside of you that is greater than any obstacle. Christian D. Larson. Fans, I want to thank you guys once again for tuning into the Voice of the Fans podcast. As always, thank you guys. Thank you, fans, for making our voice your choice. Happy holidays. Enjoy your Christmas. I will see you next week for one end of the year review. And I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you once again for being a part of the Voice of the Fans podcast. And that is a wrap. Thank you, fans. Good night.